time has come to put Emerald Steel back in the water. Jules is looking a little bit nervous and impatient. We both can't wait for her to splash down so we can be on our way. We had a couple hours delay this morning because the crane operator discovered he was out of diesel right before he came over to launch us. But now it's all systems go. As we see our little home heading down the fairway, we have all kind of thoughts running through our heads. Like what would happen to her if they dropped her on the concrete? What kind of damage would there be? You know, happy thoughts like that. Our neighbor has been hauled out for a month already and nothing was done on his boat at all while we were there. Jules made sure that all the places where she was sitting on blocks on the bottom of the keel got a coat of bottom paint. Because we had that 2-hour delay this morning, we were wondering if we should make for Catalina as soon as we launched or wait until the following day. We were both pretty tired and were hoping to arrive in Catalina while it was still light out so we could get a good anchorage spot and sleep well that night. We were excited to haul out, but even more excited to go back in the water. There's Jules taking a few final pics. We were scheduled to be the first one to be launched in the morning, but there was a power boat in the haul-out slip when we arrived, so the boatyard made them move out of the way and make way for Emerald Steel. Just left the boatyard. She is. She's just slipping through the water. No resistance. Nothing like a new bottom job. As you enter Mission Bay, the first arm to starboard is Driscoll's Boatyard, and across to port is Crown Cove Anchorage. As we were heading down the channel out to sea, we made a last-minute decision to go back to the anchorage for the night. We were both very tired, so we decided we would head out early the following morning. It's not good to start a passage when the captain and the crew are both tired.
Here we're anchoring in the Mission Bay, the south side of Anchorage.
Mission Bay is a 72-hour anchorage which is strictly enforced.
Other side of the small peninsula is a channel going out to the ocean.
So it's 5:30 in the morning and we're just getting ready to head out to Catalina.
I like to leave earlier because it's nice feeling to get there before dark, because we have to look for a place to anchor, and being a Friday and a Friday afternoon, a lot of people come from LA, so Anchorage is at premium.
Might be kind of crowded. Many times when we anchor in shallow water, Jules uses the manual windlass option rather than hydraulic so he can get some exercise. Just pulling out. It's going to be a beautiful morning. Hopefully it'll have some wind out there and sail. But if not, we will fire up the Iron Jenny. Had a nice rest last night here in Mission Bay. We had planned to originally just leave right away as soon as they launched us, but we were both tired and we needed a good night's rest. Very peaceful out right now. I myself love a early morning departure. Usually it's just us and the fishermen that go out. So this is the entry to Mission Bay. There's the South Jetty. It's got the red flashing light. The North Jetty, the green flashing light. Yeah. Pretty wide entrance. We've come here in some pretty bad weather. Big swells running in. We've never had a problem. One thing for sure is if you're following behind fishing boats, there's strong lights which can affect your night vision, a strong smell of diesel fumes, and possibly a large wake.
As we leaving the jetty, 15 minutes we're gonna be in a deeper water and away from the land. I never like when we have to depend 100% on the engine, because although our engine never gave up in 37 years, but it's always first time. And the older engine is, the more chances, the more you think like something might happen.
Any other words of wisdom this morning?
No, I slept about 6 hours, and I'm ready for a passage.
Good. Me too.
We left a little bit earlier. Didn't want to leave too early because it's not very smart to leave this harbor in the dark, because there is a lot of lobsters, buoys, and a kelp. So it's better if we just a little bit lighter. That's what it's right now. Okay, exactly 6 o'clock in the morning.
Not sure if it's even lobster season.
We have no idea. I just call them all lobster buoys.
You just want to stay away from them,
There's
right?
another fishing boat here, my starboard.
Oh, a little one. That's the northern jetty right there.
Susan keeping a sharp lookout, looking for a buoys or kelp. We don't want it to get wrapped around our propeller. And usually we get to about 100 feet of water, 150 feet, then you're pretty safe. But here is only about 55 feet, so you got to keep on watch for another about 10 minutes. We are moving about 5 knots. Here looking at La Jolla Point, there's a Pacific Beach, Mission Beach. There is an entry to Mission Bay, Ocean Beach, and there is a Point Loma entry into San Diego Bay. And farther there in the distance are Coronado Islands, Mexico. I'm getting ready to catch a supper.
Oh my God.
Hopefully. No idea. Usually don't have much luck between San Diego and Catalina, but you never know.
I told Jules I have a taste for mahi-mahi, so I'm trying to catch one.
Maybe not a mahi-mahi, but a tasty halibut would go too. I laid out about 250 feet of fishing line behind the boat.
Using your extra special lure.
Yep. Using the winning type.
The what?
Winning type.
The winning kind.
And here is a safety line. So when I catch a big one, that's gonna take my fishing pole away.
Doesn't look like it's very strong.
You know what? This is very strong. Anything stronger than that I don't want to catch. That's a nice fishing poles. I bought them in Hawaii. So passage to Catalina is very uneventful. We're getting about 5 knots of wind straight on the nose. As you can tell, it's not very warm. Not really cold, but just with a short sleeve shirt, it'll be kind of not very pleasant. Scanning the horizon. And what I'd like to share with you is this in here. Then a voyage of 1,000 miles plus, you'll be just floating around and wait for the wind. But when a voyage is only 60 miles, and you know that by powering you can be down there this evening before it gets dark, then we don't have too much of patience to be bopping around here to God knows when. So we just start the engine and powering. But it's still pleasant. I have a fishing line out. Susan right now will be baking some French rolls, actually kind of hot dog rolls.
Hot dog buns.
Here are the potatoes she just boiled for a potato salad. And for lunch we're gonna have a what?
We're gonna have bratwurst and my homemade buns.
Special hot dogs with a potato salad.
It's bratwurst.
Okay. We're gonna have a bratwurst. Some kind of wurst. We're gonna Susan fresh
buns.
It's gonna be very yummy. And we're already debating it for dinner. Susan's gonna make a fresh bread, spaghetti, fresh sauce, and a shrimp scampi with that. So we will be eating very, very well. Hope we're gonna get on the anchorage and drop the hook before too late.
First I had to whip up some dough for my buns because it takes some time for the dough to rise. Then after it's risen fully, I divide it into buns and bake. Jules always looks forward to what's coming out of the galley. As you can see, I'm using Jules' special stovetop oven. That way we won't have to heat up the whole boat as we would if we used a diesel stove. As Jules mentioned earlier, I boiled and then peeled my potatoes. Then I cut them into little squares. I like to add some chopped bell pepper, chopped onion, and chopped hard-boiled egg. After, I put all the ingredients into a bowl and toss lightly together. Some freshly ground pepper, a touch of salt, a few spoons of sweet pickle relish. Next I add some celery seed. For the wet ingredients, I use mayonnaise, sugar, red wine vinegar, and some yellow mustard. I mix it all together and add to the salad. All the ingredients are put together, mix well but gently so it doesn't get all mashed up. A little parsley for aesthetics, and that's it. Now into the fridge to chill for about an hour before we eat. Although we don't buy a lot of sausage, on long passages they come in quite handy because they're easy to prepare and yummy too. We like the ones with pork or beef or a combo of the two. Once the buns are done and the sausage is fried, all that's left is to put everything together and lunch is ready. To finish it off, Jules gets mustard, ketchup, relish, and chopped onions, and I get the same minus the ketchup. Now, to see what Jules thinks about it.
Great, Jules.
So, here is my humble lunch with Susan put together. Fresh roll, nice sausage, potato salad. All you need is a good appetite. Thank you, Susan.
Still waiting for that fish for dinner though, Jules.
Alright, first we gotta catch them.
Even on a short trip to Catalina, we like to turn on all of our navigational instruments to check them out and make sure they're all working properly, so there will be no surprises when the time comes to take off on a long trip. Here it shows how AIS comes in very helpful. We noticed when our alarm went off that we were on a collision course with the ship. He was not at a 90-degree angle to us, so it was hard to decide if we should slow down or speed up. Eventually, the closest point of approach was less than 1 mile, so it was time to take action. I called the ship on VHF, and the captain advised us to stay on our current course, and he would alter course. It's a good feeling to know the ship has seen you and to know where you stand, because the worst thing would be if you altered course at the same time he did, and then you'd be back on a collision course again. As we know from past experience, a lot of the time a small sailboat isn't noticed by a large ship, and the last thing you want is to get tangled up with one of these giants. We weren't very lucky in the wind department, as it was pretty much calm all day. It was looking like we would just make it in before sundown, as we had less than 5 miles to go, but nevertheless it was an enjoyable trip. The point that you see behind Jules to the right protects White's Landing from southerly swells. The long point on the north side of White's Landing protects from the northerly swells, so the anchorage is quite comfortable and well protected from all but easterly winds.
Just dropped our anchor in White's Landing.
Right before it got dark.
Yep.
Perfect timing.
It's a pretty good trip, right, Jules?
Yes.
Now we're gonna go have something good for dinner. The beautiful moon tonight. Full moon. It's actually called a blue moon. Very impressive.
Okay guys, so that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a comment and a thumb up. We always love hearing from you. And before we leave, we'd like to thank all of you that support our channel through Patreon and PayPal. We really appreciate your support, guys, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.